asked the lady who was like, hey, what exhibits do y'all have today? And she goes, oh, we have a great art exhibit right there. Down the hall. And so I was like, oh, well, I'll have to go check that one out. And I went down the hall and I walked into the great art exhibit room and there were no lights on. And I was like, oh, they must have forgot to turn the lights on. I'll go back and tell her. And I turned and I stopped because what if that was the art? And that made me more uncomfortable than I've been in a while. And so I felt around and I found a bench. And I sat there and I stared at what was probably a shadowy statue of some sort. I couldn't really tell because there were no lights on. And I just sat there for an uncomfortable 3 minutes. Which I think was the appropriate, polite amount of time. Like maybe I was a fast art cruiser. Like someone who appreciated art but like definitely got what he needed quickly. And so I waited and then walked out and left. And the lady was like, did you enjoy the exhibit? And I was like, yeah, I thought it was inspired. And then I walked over to more regular things. Now I wonder if I still am caught up with that. Like, what if that was the art, but what if that wasn't the art? What if that was just a mistake? And everyone who went to the museum that day, she was like, oh, this is a great exhibit, you have to check it out. And they all walked in, they all like felt uncomfortable, but were too polite to say anything. And so they sat down and came out and said it was great. And at the end of the day, she walked in to turn the lights off, and they were off, and she was like, oh no. Oh man. And then she had gotten to her head too, and she's like, what if everyone thought that was the art? What if they're telling all of their friends about it right now? They all liked it. They all told me they liked it. Oh my goodness, it would be false advertising if we turned them on now. Oh man. I hope the artist doesn't come with his family to see this. And then a few weeks later, the artist hears from his friends like, hey, I heard about the exhibit you did. Oh man, it was amazing. And so he like brings his family, he's like, oh, this is it. My parents are finally going to be proud of me. I told them that was better than a business degree. And so they like go to the museum and he's like, look, this is the exhibit that everyone's talking about. And he like leads them in and he walks in, he's like, Mom, Dad, look, it's my art. And his parents can't see the single tear rolling down his cheek. As he turns, his mother's there consolingly, and his dad is walking out of the room. And he realizes that it's going to take a bit longer. But he's going to try. He's going to try and he's not give up. Because we call artists who give up on their dreams Adolf Hitler. So just remember that, guys. It's okay. Speaking of sophistication in Georgia, I don't know if y'all heard that the sort of North Georgia mountains are undergoing what we call a sort of Georgia wine renaissance, or the Georgia wine rush, as we like to call it. And so we've got a lot of breweries popping up over in the mountains, a bunch in Dahlonega, and there's this one that brews a wine called that's called Blood Mountain Red. And you got to a sommelier and you were like, hey, Mr. Sommelier, what does this wine taste good with? And the sommelier would be like, oh, well, this wine pairs best with Cheetos. Because Georgia wine is exactly what you expect Georgia wine to be. We're working really hard. I'm pretty sure that next year we're going to come out with a nice sort of wine that has a good bouquet, and it's a white, and it's going to taste just like Mountain Dew. For all of our Georgian needs. Have you ever heard someone tell you that you shouldn't give money to homeless people because they might spend it on drugs? Yeah, that's wrong. Don't listen to them. Be a good person. Don't let someone tell you, like, no, don't be a good person because you're actually a bad person for being a good person. That's not how the world works. Because there are two problems with that argument. One, maybe they won't spend it on drugs. That's like if you went to the lunch line at your elementary school and you were like, oh, hey, I'd really like some food. And the lunch lady was like, oh, sorry, you might turn on a food fight, so we'll just have to hold this back. I was like, oh, but I'm not. Really, I haven't eaten today. And they're just like, nah. And two, what if they did spend it on drugs? What would happen then? This person would go, because let me tell you what, a homeless person that you give $1 to isn't going to fly to Miami and buy like kilos of cocaine. They're going to go and buy drugs from a local business person who started their own startup, who's tax-free, so all of that money is staying in the community. And they're making a conscious purchase. Really, you're supporting local businesses, if anything. So guys, be a great person, because that's what I know y'all are. I hope y'all have a wonderful evening and a great week.
Silcox, everybody. I told you it was going to be delightful. And yeah, Chris said, please go support.